let's just get into it then. All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
we've
everybody.
got talking
Welcome
points.
to Half-Ass Gamers. That's right. For the first time, we're using that title. I've rebranded from
We love it.
Titan Radio because there were way too many, like seriously, way too many sports podcasts called Titan Radio. So I'm like, cool, Half-Ass Gamers. This was a title.
To be honest, Half-Ass Gamers suits us way too well. Because
It's
I
perfect.
messaged this motherfucker like 15 minutes ago. I was like, yo, the pod? And he's like, what the? It's Thursday? And I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. And then he's like, do we even have talking points? I'm like, of course we've got talking points.
Bro,
So we came up with them like 5 minutes before the pod. So
not even, like literally probably a minute ago. We started
okay, I was
talking
trying
about
to make us
things.
seem like we're not that half-assed, dude. We're a little bit
But like,
organized.
let's be real. As we were discussing what points to talk about, we immediately was like, okay, no, this is more than enough for a full episode.
yeah, way. There's so much going on. It's kind of like an exciting time, like we talked on last episode. There's been a pretty good, decent year, and I feel like the year to come is exciting for video games and just video games and film in general. We're finally coming out of lockdown. There's finally all this shit coming out. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
I just want to say though, real quick, I made a mistake in the last podcast. I said I got Sifu through GOG. I didn't. I got it through Epic Games.
Epic Games, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
So
I
that's
know
just
it was
one
on.
thing I wanted to fix.
I know it was on Epic because it just came up on the Epic Games sale.
Yeah.
So I got a little notification because it's on my wish list and I will potentially be picking that sucker up in the next couple of days for Christmas. Because also, dude, we are literally 3 days away from Christmas.
Yes, we are. Sales have already started, I'm pretty sure, and there's a lot of great stuff out at the moment that's like worth getting if you haven't played it.
Yeah.
It is 100% worth getting your hands on if you can find it for cheap. So, I don't want to start listing things, but like just generally, God of War is well worth getting if you've never played it. You want to see what it's like. It's on PC. Get your hands on it. The other one is the Spider-Man game. Real Talk.
Yeah,
is probably the best interpretation of a Spider-Man game based in a city that you can just openly explore. It's fucking incredible. I haven't played Miles Morales. I do want to pick that up personally as well. Anything you'd suggest or recommend?
Oh, that's on the sale?
Yeah, that's on sale or might be on sale during this time. Just generally anything that you 100% would recommend someone to go pick up. And
my one for the sale that I'm going to pick up is fuck. I have to actually open it. No, I know it. Thieves End, Nathan Drake. What's it? What's that called? Uncharted. The Uncharted the 2 game collection, the PC. I haven't played them. I really want to play them. It's one that I've been holding out for. I'm just supporting the hell out of Sony and Sony games coming to PC just because I want Ghost of Tsushima to come to PC.
Dude, same.
So I will pick that up. I picked up like God of War, Spider-Man. I think I've actually got Miles Morales as well. But I haven't picked up the Uncharted. It's like Thieves Collection or something like that.
Yeah.
Another one that I was having a look at because it's just dropped in price would be the Gotham Knights. I know it didn't have a huge amount of positive reviews, but it's one that, because it's now kind of cheap, I've always loved the Batman Arkham games. It's one I'm looking at picking up. So, but there's a bunch out there, man. So, like you said, there's heaps. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Is there anything you're playing at the moment? Anything you picked up recently that you started playing?
Oh, we're back on the Minecraft grind. I hate to say it, but the Minecraft grind has started with the boys.
Bro, Minecraft is always great.
But no, not really. Really just want to get the good old Nathan Drake collection, Uncharted, and play that. I re-downloaded like a couple of games. I did The Witcher, jumped into that for probably about 25 minutes, half an hour the other day. Loaded it up and just loaded up a save and had a run around. But I haven't like properly played into it yet. So
yeah, the ray tracing in it is pretty sick. Unfortunately, I don't have like a proper ray tracing card, so I just played it on my brother's computer for a little bit to see the visual updates, and it is man, like that game was always gorgeous, but damn, it's it's something special. But
there's a lot of cool quality of life purposes, like things that they've done as well, that I'm keen to just like have a look at. And yeah, I'll probably, now that that's updated and installed, probably be having a look at that.
Hell yeah. I recently picked up a few games. So I picked up Postal Collection because I always love the OG Postal games. Postal 1 and 2. Postal 2 more than 1, because 1 is like this real deep thing, and then 2 is just this like super fun, just mess around kind of game. And then started playing Red Dead 2 again. Really good game. Well worth it if you can find it real cheap. But the online has been like the best thing. But I've been playing a ton of Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2.
I saw you on that the other day. I've got that game. It's a really good game.
It is, but the fact that it's long range sniping, which is what I've wanted from just in general a game, because there's a couple of games out there like there's the like small bonus areas or things that you can do that have that, and I like that. Like long range target shooting, it's just always been really cool to me, and like I've always really enjoyed it. And this is just like, it's basically just that, and that's kind of what I want. Like, it's a sniper game. You should be able to take long distance shots, and all the other Sniper Ghost Warrior games have been like 200 meters at most, and that's just normal combative range. That's not even like
super.
Yeah. And then earlier today I picked up Star Wars Fallen Order and just been playing that a little bit. So I've only got about probably a bit over an hour, and it's been really good. It's a fun little story game. I switch from game to game a lot.
Yeah, you're like me.
Dude, I'll hop in a Destiny for like 40 minutes and then jump into Sniper Elite for an hour and then jump into something else and then just go watch YouTube or whatever. And it's just
you're very much like me.
It's a bit of a mess, man. ADHD brain.
Did you get Star Wars because of Jedi Survivor coming out?
To be honest, I don't even know Jedi Survivor was coming out until I went to go buy it. But no, I picked it up because it's like it was dirt cheap. I think it was like maybe $6 or $7. Like, it was just ridiculously cheap when I picked it up. In total, I think I spent like $25, and in that I got Postal, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, and then Jedi Fallen Order. So I'm just like, yeah, great. And when I went to grab Fallen Order, I saw that Survivor is coming out as well. So I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Gives me something to do as well, and
that looks like a pretty cool game. Not gonna lie, that I saw some bits and pieces on it. I'm like, damn, that is looking impressive.
It is honestly looking really cool, and so I'm like, kind of actually looking forward to seeing that. Obviously, I need to finish this one first and see if I really do like it enough to pick up a game that is new. But so why don't we get into then, since we've already been talking about Survivor, new games that are coming out next year. I
know we got to talk about
gigantic list
game of year for last year and sort of the games we were playing last year, but now coming into the new year, coming into 2023, and just a really exciting year for video games. Probably going to be expecting a few delays here and there, but most of the games that are kind of slated for next year are looking real good. So still a lot to be announced for later in the year, but kind of what we've got for early in the year is incredible anyway. So
yeah. No, honestly, across the first probably 2 quarters of the year is just going to be an insane amount of games.
Yeah.
And then not even to mention the second half of the year is just going to be even more of just like genuinely beautiful or amazing story, or just what seems to be really, really cool. Like, I know right off the bat in February, a game I'm really, really looking forward to is Sons of the Forest.
Yeah, really? I didn't expect that. I know that because we played a little bit of that a while ago actually now. And I know you love the first one. I've had mixed thoughts with the good old The Forest. But no, Sons of the Forest, when that came out, looked incredible. I think the coolest thing is I just need to figure out like who's running, or like what companies are running Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Like what games on Unreal Engine 5 are we seeing? How are they utilizing that? How is that happening? Because do we know Sons of Forest is that running on Unreal Engine 5? I'm pretty sure
don't
it's supposed to
think
be.
I don't think it is. Truth be told, I'm actually not too sure on the engine it runs on. I've tried to keep as much of the like production details or any like details like just completely out of my mind, purely because I don't want any of it to get spoiled for me. Because even if it's like I saw the announcement trailer and then I saw the release date, and that's all I wanted to see. That's all I core. Like that's all I cared about. And I know that it's coming out apparently in 23rd of Feb. It's like mid to end of Feb.
Yeah, that's what it's slated for. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is like all the details I need to know. I love the first one. I played through the whole thing with my brothers, and also with a couple of other friends. We made multiple servers multiple times. But that game, if you like horror, you're cool with body horror because it's like super heavy into body horror.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. Genuinely so good. You have to enjoy survival. You have to enjoy being made very uncomfortable, because there is a few different things that come up in the story or that come up in thing, or just like the looks of creatures and things like that, that is very unnerving or very, again, very uncomfortable to see. It will be amazing. But I don't know how I feel about Sons of the Forest yet. Obviously, it's not out. All I know is I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be running on Unity, like the first game, but I'm not too sure.
That's what I'm excited to see what they do. Because I know so many games are just kind of like so many different studios are partnering with Unreal Engine 5, and everyone's just trying to rave about Unreal Engine 5 and what that's going to be able to do for next gen. And everyone's saying that like that's what we want to utilize. So it'd be interesting. Unity is amazing as well. It really honestly, does not matter what sort of engine companies use these days. I used to be big on like, there's such an Unreal fanboy. But some of my favorite games that I've played have been done on Unity as well. So, like,
I honestly, I don't have like a certain state of mind when it comes to like engines too much, because there's that thing of like, there's been some incredible things that come out on what is seen to be kind of shit engines, you know, like there's still basically mods for like Half-Life 1 and 2 that are coming out constantly that are still using the Source engine or Source Gold or whatever, and they're making like genuinely amazing games. They look great, they play amazingly, and it's that thing of like, you can make an amazing game on a shit engine, or you can make an amazing game on an amazing engine just as much as you can make a shit game on either side. Like a lot of studios are using Unreal, but you have to know also how to make a good game.
Yeah, it's the talent behind it as well. That's the biggest thing. So it's very much that of there are some like I said, some people prefer certain engines and how they play and how they look and all this type of talk. But at the end of the day, it's the fundamentals of the game creator and the team behind it and how they utilize certain aspects. So
so I think
it was the same when Bethesda got completely flamed for years for having such an outdated engine. But it worked. It suited their style. The Fallout games have always been great. Yeah, there was some performance issues coming into the end of like their last generation of consoles, and they needed to like tweak some stuff. But apart from that, it's just like,
I just want to also give a hot take. Bethesda made shit on Fallout games, and Dark Isle was the only ones that made good ones. I think it was Dark Isle, Black Isle, whatever it is. The original studio, like Fallout New Vegas. That is the only good one. And it's, before anyone says anything, I still love those games, but New Vegas was the best one because of how actual open world it felt.
Yeah.
When it comes to like Skyrim and things like that, don't get me wrong, Bethesda did an amazing job, but because Fallout wasn't their kind of creation, like they were trying to basically piggyback off of someone else's, they changed too much that, like, I don't want to get lore nerdy, but they changed a lot of things that doesn't make sense across the games.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, it ended up throwing these weird wrenches where it like, if you know a little bit of things or you played certain things, it definitely pulls you out of it.
Still sits at a 10 out of 10 on Steam. And good old Fallout New Vegas, the company you're trying to think of that originally did it is the developers, because I always love them. And it does talk into a game that's coming out next year and a game we've talked about that you loved. It's Obsidian Entertainment. So, so Obsidian did Grounded recently. So that was done under Obsidian. And then they've been doing New World or The New World, because I always get confused with the Outer Worlds and then New World and whatever that's called, but there's a second coming to that.
Also, to make it more confusing, there's the Outer Worlds and then there's the Outer Wilds.
So not New World, sorry, New World, that's what I'm thinking of. Outer Wilds, the Outer Wilds. So Outer Wilds, no, it's the other one. I'm Googling it. The Outer Worlds 2. Holy.
Yeah.
Losing my mind today, dude. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. When I said New World, I'm like, what the that's Amazon. No, not even close, man. Dude.
That was a great game, though.
New World, oh my God, I've grinded the hell out of that game.
No.
For an Amazon game, I ain't going to complain. That shit was good. Everyone likes to give shit on Amazon, good old Jeff Bezos, but that was a good game.
It honestly, it actually was.
Obsidian's under Xbox now, so...
Yes, they are. Technically, I think they were put in charge of all the Fallout games again.
Mm-hmm.
So if any more to come out, they're going to be in charge of that. Let's move to another game, Alan Wake 2.
I know. That's supposed to be slated for... Is that still Feb? Or is that...
it has
earlier?
Changed.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be 2023.
Yeah.
Originally, I think it was first quarter, and now there's looking at, I think, like October-y.
Okay, yeah.
But still,
okay,
amazing, because holy shit, I never thought it would come out.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were expecting that to come out.
And like, Control is just such an amazing game. And they also remastered the Alan Wake games, I'm pretty sure, more recently.
They did. They 100% did.
So, hopefully they keep to it. It'll be coming out next year.
I'm trying to think when it was supposed to be slated to come out. I've completely lost that now.
I think they've changed it, but I know that it's going to be coming out on Epic.
Yeah.
And probably the Microsoft store, because I'm pretty sure that studio is also partially owned by Microsoft. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure there's some tie-in with it now.
Yeah.
Sony, Microsoft is owning heaps. So.
Yeah. Microsoft is a lot.
Another one that's coming out soon. When I say soon, Jan 24th. I know a lot of people have been excited for this. PS5 exclusive will be out on PC for Spoken. Kind of looks cool. I can't remember if that's a new IP, or definitely a new IP, sorry, but a new studio through Sony. Need to figure that out. It's in my notes, but I don't actually have developers for it. I have a friend that's like super hyped for this, pre-ordered it. I'll probably try and get over to theirs to play it. For me, it's always looked cool. The trailers at the start were like sick. And I've heard like just positive things about it. So I'm kind of keeping my eye open for that, mainly for the start of the year. That's coming in the start of Jan, as well as the Dead Space remake. They'll be coming to all consoles, I think, end of Jan. I think that's still got the go ahead. For anyone that loves their Dead Space, it's kind of that weird one for next year, where there's like a lot of really, really cool games that are coming out that will be like new games, but then also like a bunch of remakes and sequels that I'm like super excited about as well. Like you're saying, Sons of the Forest is going to be like a sequel.
I mean, a great remake is going to be like Resident Evil 4. That's a remake coming out next year, and I don't know if that's going to be good.
It's always hard, man. We never know with that type of stuff. You never know.
And I think there's like a sequel, Diablo. I think Homeworld. Yeah,
Diablo 4.
yeah. Diablo 4 is supposed to be next year. Then there's like Homeworld 3. There's like Baldur's Gate 3. There's another Street Fighter.
Oh, there's heaps.
Just like there's a ton of sequels. Yeah, like Arc 2.
Yeah.
Company Heroes 3.
Like, Arc 2's with fucking, who's that with again? Mr. Toronto.
Yeah.
Fuck, I've completely lost it. Oh my lord. Okay, we're gonna leave that up to the viewers to get back to us of Mr. Toronto's name, because we have both just lost it.
Yeah, you can go find it.
Yeah. Another one that I think I'm super excited for. Never thought would see this game come out. Literally never thought would see this game come out. What do you think it's going to be?
Dead Island 2?
Yeah, I'm actually so hyped for it. I don't want to get too hyped for it, but because like, yeah, it looks cool, and it's just been stuck in development hell, and we finally got to see screenshots, and now set in like good old Hollywood LA vibe. Like, it's gonna be cool.
It'll be interesting to see. So like, me and my brothers played the first one for probably just shy of 200 hours.
Really? Wow, okay.
No joke. We all love that game. We found like a bug that you could do where you're just constantly like spawning a resource so you can get like a ridiculous sum of money and shit, right? There's a joke between me and my brothers, which is, ooh, champagne, which is just like a line that you get from this chick when you trade her, I think it's diamonds? Or no, when you trade her champagne. You give her champagne and she gives you a diamond, and then you can sell the diamond to get cash. So what you do is you just run around the island collecting all the bottles of champagne. You can dupe them, and then you just go trade it to her. And then you're constantly hearing that line, even if you're skipping. That's like the line that always comes out.
Yeah.
So every now and then, one of us will just be like, "Ooh, champagne," and we all just, we understand. But yeah, man, honestly, dude, I genuinely never thought it would come out.
I never thought it would come out.
When they showed the trailer, I think it was at...
It was the Game Award. Not the Game Awards.
It wasn't Game Awards. It was...
the one before that.
It was one of the game shows.
Yeah, I literally had... Give me 1 second. It was my Discord.
I think it was one in Germany?
Yeah. Gamescom.
Yes, yeah. At that, where they just like surprise drop Dead Island 2 trailer. Just damn, bro.
Well, I had my list of like things that I thought, like my predictions for Gamescom, and that was the only thing correct that was on it. It was the only thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, but it's happening. It's coming out. The screenshots looked incredible. They recently showed a little bit more off recently for it. It's still got a bit until it comes out. So that's going to be closer to the mid-year. When I say mid-year, it's April, they're saying. But I think it's the end of April. So I think, just double-checking it, April 28th on all consoles. So that will be cool. And then the other one that I wanted to chat about, because I'm really torn on this. It looks incredible.
Starfield?
No, not even. Like, because it's just a hard one. Like, I want to get it. Yeah. I want to play it, but I don't want to buy it. It looks great, and I feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's probably going to be like contender for Game of the Year. I really do, from what I've seen. And it's Hogwarts Legacy.
This one's a very contentious one purely because of whose IP it is.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that, like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. And I remember owning the original Harry Potter games on, like, PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. I heard so much of that shit, and I remember seeing, like, the memes nowadays that come out of, like, Hogwarts PS1 or, like, Hagrid PS1 and shit. Like, I remember that. I remember playing that and, like, you hearing the voice lines of all the spells constantly. But the thing is, that IP is now connected to someone that is just like it's a difficult thing. So while don't get me wrong, visually it looks cool. It looks like it could be a great game. It's just in like a weird spot, and that's the main reason why I don't think it'll be nominated.
well.
Or if it, yeah, like don't get me wrong, it'll probably do all right because a lot of people talk this whole like, oh, she's evil, or blah 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 blah. But then we'll continue to buy the stuff that comes with the IP or like merch and all this shit. So
yeah,
I still think it'll do well. I really do, but I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be too many people that have that like sour taste in their mouth, and that's the only reason why.
I could see that. To me, like it looks stunning. The more that I see of it, the more I'm like, holy, this could be a really incredible game. But also it's just, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just there's something about it. Like I couldn't see myself buying this game. I was chatting to my brother about it. If someone bought it for me, I would be super excited to play it. But I don't see myself rushing out and buying it day one. Like there are some really cool cosmetics, seeing the broomstick, seeing everything, the open world, hearing about it, even watching parts of the combat. It's like, wow, this game looks great, but I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's just like a single player Harry Potter game. Knowing that I'll probably do the same thing now that I'm more conscious that I'll chuck 7 hours into it and that will be it. But I don't know. There's something about it that I'm just like, and it's coming out of a couple of different studios that are just like, kind of like, I don't know. Like it's not backed by anything huge that's got me so excited. And from what I've seen, it does look great, but it's an interesting one. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on it because I'm so torn on it.
I feel like it's just one of those games that it's like we're just gonna have to see what it's like when it comes out.
Yeah,
because
there's a lot of hype getting built around it. Like a lot of hype, more hype than I kind of expected.
Yeah, there's like a ridiculous amount of hype behind it, despite the fact that again, like that IP is connected to a disgusting human being in a lot of ways. But there's also like, it's one of those things that there's so much hype, I don't even know if it's ever gonna fulfill that.
Yeah.
Because like a great example is one that's actually coming out that I wanted to speak about, Atomic Hearts.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, and like gameplay footage and all that stuff looks amazing. And like visually it looks great. But it's just one of those things that it's like there's just so much hype there that it might just not like ever fulfill it, and it's just going to feel like, I don't want to say a waste, but it's just going to feel like unwasted potential.
And Atomic Hearts being one that's just like another one that's been in development for how long? Like I don't even want to kind of know how long. It feels like forever as well. That's just like, because very similar to different game styles that I love and some of my favorites. So, but I feel like it's like 4 years. 4 years they've been doing teasers and stuff like that.
2018, I think it was. So yeah, it'd be about 4 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is actually crazy. And I feel like that's going to be a lot of games on this list of next year that have been like kind of teased and they're finally coming out and we're finally seeing them. Like, yeah, like the other one that you mentioned at the start, good old Starfield, finally supposedly getting that at some point next year.
Yeah, which is again a game that was announced in what, 2018?
Yeah, another one that Assassin's Creed Mirage that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know that it's been in development for so long, but like another Assassin's Creed game that they always talk about. Like, yeah,
I mean, it's just one of those things that it's like, okay, so there's another one that I actually wanted to speak about, and it looks really cool. And it looks very interesting, and I'd like to try it. And it's called Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, which is a Team Ninja game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I don't think it's trying to be like Sekiro or anything like that, but it does have that kind of feel to it. But there's this like, looking at like concept art and trailers and like promo photos and stuff, and like even the cover art of the game, it looks fucking insane.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
I know Team Ninja, and I know that they're going to try to do it the best they can, but it's just one of those things that it's like gameplay footage from a company is very different to actual playing the game.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to like, I always use The Division as the perfect example of it.
Classic Ubisoft. Any Ubisoft game you could really go.
Yeah, but I mean, I just use that one as like the biggest thing because it's that thing of like, you use gameplay footage to hype up a game. Yes. But you're like hand picking the gameplay footage and it's done in like such a specific way, but it's still like, it sounds like it could be a great game. And I think it's already out in some capacity. I'm not too sure, but I know that it's not. It's supposed to be March. But yeah, it's just, again, like, there's just so much coming out next year that I hope does well, because like a really weird one as well. I don't know if you've heard of it. Wild Hearts.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen gameplay of that.
Dude, it looks so fucking cool, but it's also like, is this just gonna be a Monster Hunter ripoff?
Yeah, very cool Monster Hunter ripoff, but some really cool aspects in that game. Talking about Team Ninja, Neo 2, that's a game that I need to play, man. Neo and Neo 2.
That's the same. I was gonna pick it up. They were on sale a couple of days back.
I have Neo 2. So I'm just a very bad person and played like 2 hours of it, so we like that.
It's fine, bro. It's fine. What other games coming out next year that you're excited for, man? Like,
for me, there's too many, man. There's actually like the list, because there's a lot of like unannounced ones as well, so it's like hard to gauge off that. But the list is like, it's ridiculous. Like Avatar, I think we mentioned slightly in the morning, not the morning, earlier before. You've mentioned Alan Wake 2, because I love the original. There's the Black Myth Wukong from, I'm pretty sure that's a new studio coming out. We finally got trailer for Blue Protocol that I've been super excited for. I think they've partnered with Amazon Games that I was really shocked by to do the release, but holy, like seeing gameplay of that now, character builds. Mentioned Avatar for Frontiers of Pandora. There's just like heaps. A couple of really cool free-to-play games that are coming out that I've been kind of keeping an eye on. But like there's that many, man. I couldn't keep naming. Just games that I didn't expect as well to be seeing coming out next year. Couple of sequels from games that I've always loved. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, like a very, I guess like unassuming one, or one I never would have thought. So there was a Fatal Frame game that came out in Japan in like 2008.
Okay.
And it's finally getting a worldwide release.
Really?
Yeah, and that's like next year, I think it's like in March. And like I grew up playing the Fatal Frame games in some capacity, whether it be at like friends' houses or emulating it's just fucking weird. Like the game that came out in like 2008, it's just randomly getting like a worldwide release. Like it's just fucking almost 15, 16 years later? Like that's insane.
That's actually wild. That's actually wild.
That's
another
like
one,
a weird one.
So Kerbal Space Program 2.
That game is fun, man.
I'll list some that are in my like list a couple that are in my coming soon wish list, and then I'll talk about probably just one of them. But there's a bunch, like I said, free to play ones. So we got to see cool gameplay of the finals. That seems like it's a next gen battle royale. We'll have Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. That is a hell of a name, coming out 2023. Another one that should be coming out, Starfield, mentioned that, Atomic Heart, Arc Raiders. That was a cool one. So most of these you'll be able to get trailers for. Hyenas. That seems like a really, really cool game coming from, that just blows my mind as a developer. Publisher. It's coming from Sega. It's a new multiplayer sci-fi FPS. Team up with your pack and steal priceless pop culture loot from Mars billionaires and rival crews. It's like a really, really cool looking game. Art style looks epic. I think it's going to be free to play. But the one that I'm looking forward to playing the most, and like super looking forward to playing it, should be coming day one to Game Pass, slated for 2023, and we've seen heaps of it. But Redfall by Arcane Austin, I think, and that's good old under Bethesda and Microsoft. But yeah, I don't know. I have always kind of loved Dishonored and like Deathloop and all those types of games. So to see a co-op FPS Arcane game, coming out and killing vampires, like, sign me up, brother. I love the art style. Excited to see, and that one's probably like my most anticipated game for next year. There's a lot of games, but that's probably the one I'm most excited for to play.
Yeah, honestly, that just sounds like fun.
Have you seen much on Redfall?
I actually haven't. I heard about it, and that's as far as I wanted it to go. I knew that it was look, I don't want to say Left 4 Dead, but vampires, but it's like it looks honestly like a very fun game, and apparently it's like, it's just cool. I can dig it. I like vampires. Vampires are the weird thing, because like I've noticed a lot of games are being based around vampires. It's like now that zombies are like gone, they're like, oh, we need something else, and they just slapped vampires in.
It is kind of weird. I love vampires as well. I've always loved the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline series. That we are still waiting for number 2 to come out. I don't think that's slated for next year. That is in development hell. But when that game comes out, we'll be talking about it. But yeah, 4-player, like open world, Arcane game, looks really, really cool. Like I'm down for it for sure. It gives me a little bit of Gen Zero vibes, with like loot grind progression. I don't know how the story would go, but knowing these guys, they will kind of kill it. And we've seen a bunch of gameplay of this. So there's a decent enough out there to kind of get me excited enough. And most times Arcane's pretty good at showing gameplay and then following it up with that being the gameplay that you get.
Honestly, out of many studios, like Western studios, Arcane is like the major one that just doesn't, like, they genuinely show you what's going to come out. Which is, it's so nice. And like, again, Redfall, look, I didn't know it was an open world. I thought it was like mission based, but that's sick. I love that. That's great.
Full open world co-op FPS. It's going to be huge. They're doing the whole story driven, so it will be a story driven. But you'll be able to do crafting. It's going to have like immersive sim aspects to it as well. So that's coming out at some point next year. And the best thing with that is it'll be on Game Pass. So
gives me a reason to get it again.
But like they're pretty much like the main ones that are in my wish list. There's so many more other games coming out, but a lot of just like free to play games. A couple of different ones that have come out that just look really, really interesting. And I think that's what I'm excited for, is just the sheer volume that we're probably going to start getting now that things have come up. We can start releasing. Companies can start releasing games. So
well, look, unfortunately, I got to talk about it. I hate that I do, but I have to because I play the game so much. Destiny 2 Lightfall.
I was waiting for it. I was going to see how long it took. Look, there's always one Destiny fan that needs to bring up the Destiny expansion.
Look, I'm going to bring it up purely for this one reason. and it's
dude, it looks fucking sick. Bring it up,
it
dude.
It does. It looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I know it's just one of those, like, I'm currently in a Destiny 2 burnout, right? Because I played it way too much recently to the point where I just don't really want to play it right now. But fuck, man. Lightfall just looks cool. Like
the trailer I thought was like a Cyberpunk, the expansion when they showed it. I was like, dude, fuck yeah, we're getting our Cyberpunk expansion trailer finally. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is man, Destiny?
Fucking Lightfall. Yeah. Like genuinely, when I saw that trailer, there's a meme in like Destiny Reddit where it's just like, excuse me, where it's just like Destiny Lightfall, and then it's like what we thought we were getting. And it's just like this super dark, like fucking almost noir, fucking whatever. And then it's like what we're getting, and it's just screenshots of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's just like
it's like it looks so fucking cool. It's like so colorful and pretty and just.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one that I will have to be downloading and playing, and
probably not playing much. Let's be real.
Me,
like. I mean, it's the same with me, man. Don't get me wrong. Like,
I played so much of bloody OG Destiny.
Oh man, dude.
I'm trying to think what DLC I got to on the most, because I played Destiny 2. I didn't play a huge amount of it because I was an idiot.
Destiny 2 had a very unfortunate moment where the devs were trying to make sure that players on all consoles didn't have this ridiculously huge bloated game. And then the devs finally got told, hey, you can just make the game whatever size you want. Like, you don't have to get rid of content. So it wasn't until Lightfall got announced that they're like, okay, we're no longer sunsetting things. So there's like 6 expansions that are just removed from the game. And
this is crazy.
They're now slowly trying to reincorporate assets and parts of them back into it, because it's like, especially for myself, I've bought every expansion and I'm not ashamed of that. I love this game and I've put way too much fucking time into it, and it's kind of sad that I can't go explore like old content, but it's still cool that they're slowly bringing it back. And with Lightfall,
because they vaulted so much of it.
Dude, they vaulted more than half of the game. Like, it's so much of that game is just not in it anymore. So that's why, like, especially with this season, there's currently, we can go back to Mars it's like a small capacity, but at least we can, and explore a bit of that and stuff. And like with Lightfall, the new city on, I mean, I don't really want to go into details too much because I also don't want it to be spoiled for myself. But like, dude, the fucking new power, like, Strand looks so fun, man. You get like fucking kung fu whip shit going on, and like,
and I feel like that's what Destiny's always been good at, is like they do know how to do like decent expansions and they know how to make it fun.
That's just Bungie, man. Like, yeah, genuinely Bungie. I don't want to throw shade at the Halo series, but like, it went downhill when Bungie stopped being involved. It really did.
That's right. Halo's only literally in the talk and in any bloody news because of, what's it called? I've completely gone blank now. What do they do where you can make custom maps?
Oh, Forge.
That's the only reason it's relative right now.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that it's come back, is the community's keeping that game alive.
That's what I'm saying. A key component of that game didn't even, like, it wasn't in it at launch.
Yeah.
You had to wait, I think, like over a year before it was available or some shit. Like, it's just, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Bungie knows how to make a great game. And what they've been trying to do with every expansion is almost make a new game and then add it onto it. It's never been... Okay, I'm not going to say it's never been, because that's not true. There's a lot of DLC that came out, especially early days of Destiny 2, that was just kind of meh. Like, there was cool stuff, but it was like it just kind of was a thing, you know. As opposed to now where they're like, okay, we have the seasonal based thing that we can give like part of the team to work on one season, part of the team to work on the upcoming season, and then the other part is just working on the next DLC, the next major thing. So that way there's like enough resources and time dedicated to creating a full expansion as opposed to just having like, you know, a small team working on or a huge team working on things that don't matter, you know.
Yeah. And I think that's it's an interesting one with how Destiny goes, because it has such a dedicated fan base and it's such a fun game to play, that anytime they do release stuff, the quality is there. And I don't feel like there's been many expansions where the fans have felt you guys
trust me, lightning? There has been. Yeah.
You hearing my lightning? How cool is this? Man. We've got lightning and thunder going on. We can't really edit that out, guys, so
even if I could, which I can, I'm not going to.
It's literally, I'm just going completely off topic here. We are literally the 22nd of the 12th, 2022 right now. This is summer. This is normally when it's hot. This is normally when it's bloody raining, man. Yeah, Thank you, global warming. We love
it's like 22 degrees and there's a fucking thunderstorm outside. Like it's
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though. I feel like there's always positive vibes around Destiny, though. Like, I feel like the fan base just know that they're always trying their best. And
as someone who's very much in the community, there's always people. It's the same with everything. There's always people that try to negate the effort that's put in. There's always people that try to talk down on what they're doing and saying how shit things are. But the truth is, you still come back to the fucking game, so clearly you like it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're just nitpicking to find a reason to be upset, but you still play the game, and you still enjoy it, and you still want to. And hell, man, I'm burnt out, right? Like, I played the shit out of this game, and I love this game, but I've just played it so much that I just want to take a break right now. And a lot of people that play that game don't understand that you can just do that. Like, you can just not play a game for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, the last season, for the last 2 weeks, I think I played an hour over the course of 2 weeks. And it was just that thing of, like, I just don't want to play right now. Like, I was so burnt out. I wanted to play other things. And that's what I did. But there are way too many people in the community that just assume that burnout is fine and you need to keep pushing through it.
Yeah, and just you need to continue grinding. You've got to get the best gear. You got to get the highest light level. I'm pretty sure they still use light or however they do it. Like,
it's like, it's just like, you can still take a break, you can take a step back, you can take time for yourself. There are people now that haven't played it in a long time that are coming back to it because there's like so much new stuff, and there is genuinely a ridiculous amount of new things, and there's so much cool things in it, and like, I don't know, man, I love it. Like, I really do, and I will always be in some capacity defending this game because unfortunately I really do like it.
When's the expansion due to come out?
Yeah, I think it's March. I think it's March.
Because it's one I'm going to jump into and play for sure.
February. Yeah,
it's one I'm going to 100% jump in and play.
I just do want to change the topic because there's one other game that I've completely forgot about and then just now remembered that it's actually coming out next year, which is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Huh?
Yes. So, I don't know if you've ever played Jet Set Radio. Or Jet Set Radio Future
you've spoken to me about this. Yeah.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is made by a small indie studio called Team Reptile. And when I say small, I don't actually know the size. I'm just saying that as a thing. But it's an indie studio, and it is a spiritual successor to the Jet Set Radio games.
Because when's that due to come out? I know next year. Because you've shown me gameplay of this. It looks so crazy.
Sometime, they said summer 2023.
Okay.
So it could be anytime summer US time, which would be mid-year, right? So for us, it's winter, which is like the best time to play games because you don't want to be outside. But yeah, it's due to come out then. And honestly, if you've ever loved like a super loud coloring and just like amazing, almost like Eurobeat and like electronic and hip hop and stuff like that, like that's the soundtrack, and it's like Japanese pop and whatever, and it's so fucking cool. The Jet Set Radio games are some of my favorite games, and when I finally got it working on an emulator on my PC, I actually fucking cried. Like just hearing the intro thing and seeing the intro, and I'm just like, damn, bro.
Everything, yeah.
Brings me back to my childhood. I spent so long playing that game, me and my brothers, and like to see people that were very much like-minded and affected just as much as we were come out and be like, we are making a game that is a spiritual successor. It's what we would like to have a sequel be, and that just, it makes me feel really fucking happy inside, you know?
Oh, it's one of those ones where you always need like one of those games to come out. It's just like, it's the joy of just having a game that you know that you'll be able to just like sit down, the nostalgia's there, you'll be able to play for hours, and it doesn't need to be this over the top like AAA like amazing studio game. And I feel like that's what like video games is great for. And that's what I like. There's a couple of little games in there that, like I said, a few of mine that I mentioned that are just kind of like even some like free to play games, but they just look fun. They just look enjoyable. They look like they're taking a couple of cool risks. They may fail, but I don't know. I feel like that's where I really like end up loving video games as well. So
yeah, because like the biggest thing, especially with this game, is like the art style, right?
Yeah,
because it's very old school. It's like boxy, it's blocky, it's like solid colors, or but like the art style of any game is a very important thing.
Huge.
And for an indie game to not want it to be like with AAA games, until now, they've very much been like browns and grays and drab. It's just been like desaturated, right? Yeah. And now, especially with indie companies, everything's so bright and colorful and poppy and like the fucking neon skies. It's beautiful and I love it, and it's loud and it's something special. And to see, even with like AAA studios starting to try to do that more and not make everything just like same looking,
But it's like we need that diversity and we need that. And because there's such like gaming's become so much more accessible as well. There is so much more room for indie developers to come in and pull out some really, really quality stuff. And I think that's why like AAA studios are trying to be a little bit more creative and taking those risks. Because for a few years there, I felt like they were just playing it way too safe. Like I was just playing the same games. Like there was nothing exciting coming out. I was never getting excited for video games. If I did, even now, they were just overhyped games. Yeah.
I mean, even now, there's still very much that. And a great example of it is all the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
They all genuinely feel and look like the same game. And short of like a couple of small changes, I can't tell them apart.
That's the biggest thing with it.
Even like the newest one that's coming out, I swear to God, already came out. Like I looked at the art style and everything on it, and I'm like, isn't this already a game?
Like, that's the thing. Like, they changed it to like they're the same sort of fundamental games, but it's just like, oh, we're going from, because this new one, Mirage, is going back to like a more linear story, not as open world, not as much of a grind, not as much as your RPG set. But then they're already releasing like another 2 games that they've announced that one's going to be that. So like Codename Red, and then you've got Codename Jade, and then you've got Codename Hex. Like they're just trying to like cover so much, and it's good to see, but it's just like, yeah, you can just oversaturate it way too much.
Like there's nothing wrong with like there's this weird mentality, and I noticed it a lot with like not only the Assassin's Creed game but a few others, where it's that thing of like oh my god, we have to get like a new one out constantly. Like it has to be a yearly release, and it's like,
COD.
No, you can take your time. You can put things out a couple years apart. Give everyone a break from it, so that way there's not only like anticipation for the next one, but people will be more willing and wanting to come back to it than if it's just like constant. And like with Assassin's Creed, there was honestly a period of time where there was like 4 or 5 of them that came out like back to back.
Huge.
And it's just like shit.
Huge numbers. But it's very similar with this, like so many games that were doing that. And like a game that we talked about last podcast that doesn't do it and they always hold up is like your Rockstar games. Like I know it's such a joke on how long these games take between development periods. You've been playing Red Dead, GTA is always out, but they don't need a new GTA every single year. You don't need a new Red Dead every single year. Assassin's Creed could build these games that last 3 years, support them enough. They don't have to be pumping them with new content every single month. If you build a quality game, you can keep it alive. Like you don't, the customer's still going to pay the same amount of money and feel like they get the same amount of value. And I feel like we did lose that for a little bit. And I'm hoping we're slowly getting back to that. Like COD saying that they're not going to pump out a game every year. We're getting slower releases. I think Assassin's Creed said the same thing. This is the first time they're trying to slow down releases. They're planning games out a little bit more in advance and then giving us time to breathe and get through it. So it should be good.
Yeah. I mean, I hope more companies do that and more companies try to like spend the time. Obviously, you don't have to go to the insane detail that like Rockstar does where you can stand around and watch dudes hammering nails into the fucking train lines and they're literally hammering the nail in with every hit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to go to that insane level of detail. It's nice and it's appreciated, don't get me wrong, but you can spend a bit more time flushing things out, making sure things, you know, not only play great, but come out in a great state. And like, it's the unfortunate thing of Cyberpunk was very much put as, hey, this will come out when it's ready.
Yeah.
And for the most part, people were okay with that. And obviously, it wasn't until people were like, okay, we need to see some money for what we're putting money into, that it started to get rushed. And that was such an upsetting thing. And because I love that game and I still play the shit out of it, but it's just,
I love that game. I'm the biggest Cyberpunk. We don't talk about that. We leave the Cyberpunk fanboying to when the new one comes out and I can talk about it in the, you know.
Yeah. But it
hurts when I talk about it, dude. It hurts, man. It hurts me, dude.
It does.
Also, a couple other ones before we jump on to talking a little bit about movies. I know you touched on Wild Hearts quickly, coming from EA. Super excited for that. EA have had a couple of rough games throughout the last couple of years, and this one looks like a solid game. So I hope they do well with it. Another one that we haven't really touched on that I'll just bring up quickly, I think it's coming out next year. It's the biggest one for all our Nintendo fans out there, will be the new Legend of Zelda. That's slated to come out next year that I'm super excited for. I didn't pay a huge amount of the OG one. I did buy it, but yeah, I don't play my Switch that much. I love having my Switch. I love the idea of it. I have a lot of games on it. I just don't play it that much. And then one other one that I just wanted to touch on, because I don't know if you know about this. Surely you would. I don't know when it's set to be coming out. I feel like it's probably going to be a game that's definitely delayed. All I can say is you fucking love this franchise. I think this is when we've played video games for the first time with this game. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. But Payday 3.
Yes, Payday 3.
Because that's slated to come out next year, isn't it?
From what I know, it's in a weird place where they're saying yes, it'll come out in 2023.
Yeah,
but it's also one of those things that they're like
an early access type thing.
Yeah, so I'm not positive.
Yeah,
I just like again, all they've said is it's going to come out in 2023.
Okay.
So it could be literally the 31st of December 2023. You know,
yeah,
like
right at the end of the year.
Yeah, but I really hope it's great because it's going to be on. I think it's Unreal 4 or 5. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
It's been in production or development since like.
That is one game
2016,
where, like,
I want to say.
That's one game where, like, graphics ain't a huge thing. It's just how it plays. Like, and I've always loved that. Like, the Payday series has always been that one. Even when they've come out, they haven't been graphically crazy. They haven't been incredibly realistic. Well, to points, there's, like, realism to it. But they're just fun games. They're just they know what they are. They're just a fun game to jump within friends, go do some robberies.
An arcade shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it's fun.
Because there's that many there's that many got a phone call coming through. There's that many games this year. Like, we could keep talking for another hour, man. Like, we haven't even touched on a huge amount. So I'm sorry if your favorite game out there hasn't been talked about. There's still a heap more that I'm excited for that are coming out. But there's literally that many games we could talk for hours. That hopefully we can play for hours. That when they come out. So
yeah, I mean, there really is just so much, and it's going to be a huge year, and I just hope that the ones I'm looking forward to will be good. That's all I care about, you know.
There's that many coming through that even if one or two are bad, we'll just say that we weren't hyped for it and just jump onto the other one, you know.
We'll move on to movies in 1 second. I'm just gonna like machine gun 3 others that I really wanted to
go for it. Go for
mention.
It,
Lies of P. Weird Souls-like, looks fucking cool.
Needs
Why
to be
not?
discussed. That's sick, yeah. But PlayStation 5 only though, correct?
Yes, unfortunately it is. It's a Sony developed game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Deliver Us Mars.
Yeah,
weird
Deliver
game.
Us the Moon was cool.
Interesting.
To be honest, those are hard games for me to like get on the list. I was gonna mention it, but Deliver Us Moon was literally like an RTX demo. That's what really that game was. It was like an RTX demo. It wasn't huge. It was cool.
It was cool. Like,
hopefully,
I'm be real.
Hopefully we get a bit more than an RTX demo. But
yes, hopefully. It unfortunately falls into the same thing that there was a game that came out on PlayStation 5, I think it was, or 4. Was it The Order?
Okay, yep.
Where it was basically just a tech demo. Like, it could have been way longer and way better and more fleshed out, but because they were trying to like rush it to be basically a tech demo for the console, it didn't get to be at its full potential. And one final one I just have to mention. I'm not looking forward to it, but I have to mention it, and it's Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
Hands down, the only game I will not buy next year.
Really?
I am 100% done with the Street Fighter series.
Boycotting that shit, bro.
I am. I honestly am. They have just continued down a weird way. But now that that's done, let's move over to movies.
Mate, you can't just fire off a few more and not let me just fire off a couple more.
All right, go for it, my dude.
Go for it. So we got Remnant, Remnant 2?
Yeah.
Remnant 2? If I'm saying that right, that was like an Epic Games game that came out on, not just an Epic Games game, it came out free and everyone like played the shit out of it that I know. It's a really, really cool game. I'd recommend playing the first one. That is going to be fucking sick. Like crazy. Another one that's had a huge amount of hype. I'm not going to talk about it too much. They talk about it a bit. We'll probably talk about it on its own episode coming up when it probably comes out. But The Day Before. That's like the Last of Us free to play. I think it's the first time these guys have done a game. It's supposed to be coming from like an indie developed studio. I haven't really spoken a lot about Ubisoft apart from Assassin's Creed and Avatar, but we do have Skull and Bones coming out that was in development hell as well. We do have the news
got released or announced 2016.
Yeah, it was a while. They re-changed the whole game, so that's finally coming out.
Yep.
And then Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, one coming from Rocksteady. That's great to see them. That's really cool. Massive shout out to the trailer at the Game Awards. That was amazing with Kevin Conroy return as Batman, showing his voice. Not sure if they were going to keep that as a bit of a secret for the game, but with him passing, did that reveal. But there are just a few more that are like on the horizon that will be coming out soon, plus heaps and heaps more. But a few more kind of bigger titles that we just kind of skipped over. So,
yep. Cool. Let's move to movies where holy shit, there's just as many amazing movies.
Film time.
So before we get to the one I know you want to talk about,
film time.
I just want to say, Cocaine Bear looks fucking sick.
Yeah, guys, it's gonna be the movie of the year for everyone. It's like a meme that's just like, I feel like film's just becoming this meme, bro. When has film become a meme? Can we talk about this? I feel like we need to talk about this.
It really is just like they're going fucking balls to the wall. Like, because of how many just like franchises and fucking Marvel and DC movies have been coming out, people were just like, fuck it. What can we do now? Let's just do some dumb shit. And they literally like took a story of a bear that lived for 10 minutes and turned it into like a 2-hour film.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just fucking,
but it's just like, so good. Like, I love social media and how social media love to just like, when I say I love social media, I fucking try to stay off social media as much as I can because it's toxic as hell, and we all know that.
Yeah.
But also it's just great with like how like the whole rise of Gru, everyone getting in suits, going and seeing films, like that whole meme culture. There's like it just is like a big thing. Like with this Cocaine Bear, everyone's like kind of memeing it. Everyone's gonna go watch it. They're saying it's gonna be the best film ever created. What was another one that they did? There's so many that they've done.
I mean, there's like a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Yeah.
Which is coming out next year. That looks fucking great. Like it's just Winnie the Pooh as a slasher film. And I'm so excited for that. Because it's just like, it's just a meme. Like we just having fun with it now, you know? Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's it's like a horror comedy with Nicolas Cage as Dracula. It's called Renfield.
Okay. I haven't even heard of this one.
So excited for that too, because it's a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking meme. Let's have fun with it, you know?
There's so many that are just coming out that are just
like hands down, what we all know is going to be the best movie next year, the Barbie movie.
Bro, this is going to be one of the most controversial films of the whole fucking year.
Yes.
It's already like because good old I always get this name fucking wrong.
Oppenheimer,
yeah. They did the teaser. Cool teaser, amazing. We knew that film was coming out. They dropped the trailer, and they dropped the trailer 3 or 2 days after Barbie dropped their teaser, because Barbie's coming out in July, and Oppenheimer's coming out in July, and it's weird that they felt threatened. Like everyone's saying that like these are going to be the 2 biggest films for July. That is US summer, and that everyone's like feeling that Barbie's going to have a higher box office than Oppenheimer, and that they need to start marketing it. Like someone's like gone into this full in depth. Like that's why they did it. Like they had the teaser. They weren't actually planning on doing like a trailer release. They had a special trailer for IMAX that I think I spoke about a little bit. And then, like this week we got a trailer for it because they had to show something, because they didn't want Barbie to get all the hype, because everyone's so excited for Barbie, man.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, right? They both have the same budget and they both made a very big mistake. And when I say both, I mean Christopher Nolan made a big mistake because they both come out on the same day.
Is it the same day? I knew it was in July.
It's the same day. It's the 21st of July, 2023. Both movies come out on the same day, and everyone is going to go watch Barbie and not go watch Oppenheimer.
Everyone's going to go watch Barbie. I cannot wait.
Because
I'm so
here's the
excited.
thing, right? Me and the boys, we're going to dress up in like fucking just the most comfortable looking like jock, like just sweater around the neck, just like fucking country club clothes, and just go in and enjoy the shit out of Barbie. Like,
I'm gonna have the
it's
time of my life. I'm gonna have the time of my life, man.
Like, genuinely going to be so good, because it is going to be something that is more accessible to people and more what people want now, which is just a fun movie. And Oppenheimer, I love the story of Oppenheimer, like J. Robert Oppenheimer, sorry. Incredibly interesting person. He has a fucking crazy life in a lot of ways, and like the Manhattan Project and everything to do with like the first nuclear bombs. Yes, very cool, very interesting stuff. I can't wait to see it. But and Barbie, the talk of them is doing going to be practical. A fun movie. Oh. Yeah, like they're doing practical things and all that stuff, but like Barbie, it's a fun movie. Like, I want fun now. I want something that is just stupid and like over the top, and just Ryan Gosling as Ken is fucking amazing. Like, in the trailer that came out, I'm just like, bro, he's so good. Like,
so sick. I just can't get the 2001 Space Odyssey parody.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know that that's the target audience that they're going for, because like that is such a different target audience. Maybe they know that they're like, yo, we have Margot Robbie playing Barbie. She's hot. We're going to have a lot of people look at this. Also, all the literally me boys loving Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And they're just like, fuck it. Like, we're just going to do a 2001 Space Odyssey. Like, you show that to your daughter that loves Barbie and has a Barbie doll, she's going to have no idea what that is, bro. No idea.
Dude, 100%. I think it's a bit of the, how can we do something that's over the top? And like, it really is like parodying not only a movie that came out like 40 years ago, right? But parodying it in such a way that was just like, dude, this is great. Like, it's so good, because it plays up the whole over the top, the whole comedic element to it. And I'm just like, that's what I want. We're past sad boy times. Next year isn't a sad boy year. Next year is a fucking fun loving, outgoing, we getting weird with it in a great way kind of year. And that's what I want. I don't want a sad boy movie. I want something that's a fun comedy, probably a musical too. Let's fucking go. Let's go.
Sick. I just don't know why 2001 Space Odyssey. I'm so confused. I love you, Stanley Kubrick. Like, great film. But Barbie, what are you doing, man? Also, is this her first movie? I forget her name. The director, Greta
Gerwig.
Is it her first film as a director?
Gerwig.
Well, she directed other things.
First film?
I'm just going to double check on IMDb, because I actually have no idea.
There was Little Women.
Wasn't she in that?
Yeah, Lady Bird.
Because she was an actress first.
Yeah.
Oh no, she did direct Little Woman, and she directed Lady Bird. Okay.
Yeah, so she's been a writer for a bunch of films, but like directed, she's done a few, and like, I really respect it. The fact that she also got nominated for an Academy Award for Lady Bird,
I haven't seen that
screenplay for Little Women and Lady Bird. Like, it shows like she can do this, and she can do it well. And I have trust in her, and I know it'll be good. It'll be a fun film.
I need to watch some of her films.
Have a message, but it'll be good. Little Women's a really good film. I think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix at the moment. I could be wrong, but it is a good. It is a good film, honestly. What was I going to say? Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I will watch Oppenheimer at some point. Like, I will, right? Because it's for me as well. It's an interesting thing. I really love history. I'm a big history buff, and I know that it's going to get played out to fucking death. Like, it's going to be overdone by Christopher Nolan, but it's going to be good still, right?
Yeah.
He makes good films. Like, I'm not going to deny that, but like I said, it's not a sad boy year. I don't want a film that's inherently depressive in some capacity. I want something that's fun, that's over the top, that's fun loving. Like, we're all out of lockdown. We're all pretty much done with COVID now.
Something
like,
fun and enjoyable.
Exactly. I want something fun. I want something over the top. I want something that has me like singing songs in the fucking theater because it's funny and like we're all enjoying ourselves. You know, I want to be going out with the boys and enjoying us. I don't want to leave being like, damn, that was such a like depressing thing. Like, that's not what I want. And it's I feel like a lot of people understand that, and that's why I think that's why there's so many cartoonish or like over the top or like very like they're not trying to make something serious that's depressing. They're trying to make something serious, or they're trying to make something that's like escapism.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it is an important thing to just like that's why Barbie is threatening to Oppenheimer, because it's that thing of like, it's a fun film. It's also going to be a fun time. It might not be an amazing film, but it's going to be a fun fucking time.
Also, it has Ryan Gosling in it.
Oh, dude,
literally me, dude. That is literally me.
Yeah.
But no, so we got it out there. Barbie's done. I'm so hyped. I'll probably see that movie like 17 billion times. Buy it on Blu-ray.
I just looked at the cast. Will Ferrell is in it as the fucking CEO of Mattel. Like,
it's just
dude, Michael Cera is in it. Like, there's just so many. It's
gonna be too good, man. It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be a perfect film. But on other films that I will still probably very much enjoy, despite not being movie of the year, John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah.
A film series I adore and love and own in every form of media. I have digital copies of the film. I have physical copies of the film. I own the Blu-ray and the DVD of every single one. I love those films. They are just it's a fun time. I think it's March. Yeah, March next year.
Because that's
assuming we have the same release date here.
Oh yeah, it's always hard because we always get them a couple of days early and stuff. All I know is it's gonna release on like a Thursday for us. A Thursday at some point. Yeah. That's what we could do. We'd go like
problem we had last time, I think it was with 3 or it was with 2, was the movie came out and it was supposed to come out here in February, and then it got pushed back all the way to October. No, it wasn't because of COVID. It was just because apparently the production company or whatever mishandled something, and it ended up like not coming out in Australia for like 6 months. I had already fucking bought a digital copy by the time it was already out in Australia.
That's crazy. That's actually wild.
It was that fucking late. Like, but it's gonna be a good time, you know? We go watch John Wick together, and then
there's gonna be so many movies coming out. It's not a massive year for films.
I can just start machine gunning stuff too.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's gonna be like that one where I feel like they're gonna release like a lot more as it goes. Films I feel like stagger with their releases. The only couple that I can really think of, I don't have a list in front of me, but I know Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse just had its recent trailer. So that's coming out. I know Creed 3 should be coming out.
Which I'm so fucking excited for. Those are my favorite Rocky films, and I'm going to enjoy the shit out of this one. I think it comes out around March as well.
And then the other couple was going to be The Flash, that I swear everyone thought got cancelled, but no, it did not get cancelled. The Flash will be coming out.
Yep.
Then classic ones of like we'll have the Mario film coming out, and then Transformers. I swear there's probably like more other Marvel and other films across the DC that I haven't brought up. I'm sure there's some Disney films that I haven't brought up as well. But that was the only other one actually just quickly that popped into my head with Indiana Jones, because I just recently got a trailer.
Yes, I believe it did recently.
But because what are you looking forward to as well apart from Barbie? Oh no, sorry, I just opened up a list now because I was trying to actually find other ones, and I completely forgot Little Mermaid.
Yes,
Little Mermaid as well. That's actually going to be kind of cool.
So there is a Willy Wonka film coming out called Wonka.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
It's a weird one. It focuses on a young Willy Wonka and like the start of that whole company. It sounds interesting. Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is coming out. I'm actually pretty excited for that. Next year seems like it's going to be a pretty decent year for rather horror or sci-fi. So there is like a new Scream film coming out for the first time in a long time. There is Winnie the Pooh. There is it's called Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah. Is that already out or is that coming out?
No, it's coming out next year. Yeah. There's a Dungeons and Dragons movie, which is a weird thing, which I don't know how it'll be. There's an Adam Driver film called 65. I saw the trailer for it not long ago, and it looks really cool. I don't know too much about the story. Yeah. It looks pretty good, honestly. I'm actually pretty excited for that. I don't like Shyamalan, and I know this will be a shit film, but I'll probably still end up watching it, and it's called Knock at the Cabin.
Okay.
I always have hope that it'll somehow be good, and I hope it will be, but I don't think it will be. There's a film about Napoleon coming out. There is a new Exorcist coming out apparently next year. Whether it be a remake or a new one, I don't know. I will just wait to see. There is I think Legally Blonde 3.
What?
Yeah, that was a weird one. I remember. There is another Equalizer, which I don't really care about. A new Expendables, which I'm like, this is fucking weird, but it has the dude from The Raid in it, so I'll probably watch it.
Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible, yes, that's right. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, which
like trying to do the live action again.
This one is full 3D from what I know.
Okay.
This one is not. So it's like 100% animated from what I know, which I will be excited. It's supposed to be like a 2.5D 2D kind of film, so I'm excited because I love animated TMNT. There is one that I keep avoiding, which is unfortunately another Fast and Furious film.
Oh yeah, Fast and Furious X or something like that.
Dude, it's gonna be shit. Like, it's gonna be shit. The last one, they literally went to space for a little bit. Like, it's over. Just stop. Like, there's another Extraction film, which I watched the first one, and I'm like, it's okay. They're remaking House Party. There's another Nicolas Cage film called The Old Way coming out. What else? There's a few other films here and there. A few international ones. A few ones that remind me of my childhood, like the Asterix and Obelix, or Asterie and Obeli, or whatever the names are, that are coming out next year, which I'm pretty excited for. But there's a ton of films that are coming out that look or sound like they'll be really good. Oh yeah, fucking Magic Mike, Last Dance.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mike, man.
Another Magic Mike. Look, I'm gonna be real, right?
I've never seen a Magic Mike film.
I honestly enjoy those films. Like, no shit, I actually do. I always thought, this is fucking stupid or whatever. It's just for women or whatever. I watched the first one. I'm like, this is not bad, actually. I watched the second one and I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty entertaining. What the fuck? So I'm actually looking forward to that. But yeah, my biggest hype is obviously the Barbie film, but a very close one up there is Creed 3. I'm really, really excited for a new Creed film. And this one's actually directed by Michael B. Jordan as well. It's not just starring him as the titular character. He is also directing it, which is the first time he's ever directed something, and I'm really, really excited for that. Honestly, I really am. Genuinely, the first and second Creed movies I love so much that anytime I want to watch the Rocky films, I always put them in there, and they're usually the ones I enjoy the most. The Mario film I'm unsure about.
Yeah, the Mario film is going to be one where it's just going to be very controversial, no matter what. But
like it's just one of those things that because of the people they've put, there's only maybe like 3 people that are voice actors in it that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm cool with this.
Jack
But
Black.
everyone else, yeah, it's Jack Black, Charlie Day, and Keegan Michael Key. Everyone else, I don't really care. Like Seth Rogen, I can kind of fuck off. Chris Pratt, kind of the same. Like
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I'm gonna still watch it because I want to support animated films, no matter who they come from. Because I very much believe animated films still have a very strong place, and sometimes they are the best and only way that certain things can be
portrayed.
Yeah, and portrayed well.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna support it, even though it comes from like a major studio and all this shit. I'm still going.
Who's it coming from again? Not Paramount or something like
Mario.
Yeah. Who's Mario coming from? Not Paramount. Who got it?
Coming from, I don't think it's Paramount. Universal.
Universal.
Yeah. Like, look, man. Next year,
a couple of trailers that I need to watch now tonight after finishing this.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of movies. Like I think in like Marvel and DC and all that shit. Like there's another Shazam. There's like a Guardians. There's a bunch of just regular Disney. Yeah, like you said, there's another Transformer, another Indiana Jones.
I think the biggest thing talking about like Marvel and
Marvels.
Marvel and DC is just what's going on in DC at the moment. That's super interesting to see. Honestly, really open as well. That's weird about it as well. So like James Gunn has come out talking openly about what he wants to do with DC, and now that he's working as like a co-creator and a co-director on the actual DC universe. It is James Gunn, I'm pretty sure. That's just like awesome.
Yeah.
But just seeing like recently all the talk with like Henry Cavill not doing Superman, good old the Dwayne Johnson stepping back as Black Adam because that didn't go as successful as they expected.
Well, he didn't step back. Apparently, he was asked not to return.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Reading, which is apparently they want to
just rebrand the whole thing, isn't it?
I don't. From what it seems, because even the Suicide Squad that James Gunn did, from what it seems, is he wants to hit the big reset button and try to start things from zero again, which I'm a little annoyed at. I think the only 2 films that are staying consistent are the Batman and the Joker film.
Okay.
Which I'm cool with. Don't get me wrong; they were very good films in their own ways, but I like them. You know,
I feel like it's
just so strange how, I guess, poorly handled everything is. Like you get,
it's just way too late now. Like no one cares.
That's the thing.
Like it's cool, like that he's come in and he's like, "Yo, I'm the new chief of DC Studios," and he's trying to do what Marvel's doing, but it just feels so like forced.
Yeah.
And it's just too open about it all. Like there's all this fan backlash that finally come in and like, oh, James Gunn and these guys finally, because like I think Peter Jackson it was someone else who's like someone else.
There were a few people that have spoken out about it.
Yeah, that have all like working together. DC's like brought them in. They're trying to make this big thing like Marvel, and they're literally, like you said, doing the reset button on like DC. And just I don't think anyone cared or wanted it. They were happy with what was going on.
It's just the thing of like, there's literally 2 films that are already done that are coming out next year, and then they're just like, Flash. Yeah, by the way, these don't matter, and it's like Flash and Shazam, and you've just straight up said these films don't matter now, and it's just like, what's the fucking point? Like, why would I watch them then?
Yeah, because I thought the Flash got cancelled, and like, no, we're not cancelling it. Like, we're still going to do it, but also like, we don't want him. He's not going to be coming back. It's just like,
it's just everything's been really poorly handled with it, and obviously this is only our opinions from what information we know from the outside, but it's very much like it's a very fucked situation, because especially with the Henry Cavill situation, right? With the whole you get him to come back, you make him like he puts out a big beautiful post saying, I'm back, I took a little thing, I wasn't sure if I wanted to return. Truth be told, I didn't think I was, and now after doing Black Adam, like I feel reinvigorated. I can't wait to see what's to come. And then like 2 weeks later, so I'm no longer Superman. And then the thing with The Rock, like he's finally built everything back, and after everything he's been saying and everything he's been promising people, to just be like, oh yeah, also The Rock's not going to be Black Adam anymore, and Black Adam may appear in future things. We're not too sure right now. It's just like, you finally start getting people on board again. Like,
and then this is what happens.
Yeah, like as much as Black Adam was technically a flop, and it was.
I haven't seen it yet.
It wasn't a bad film. I saw it recently.
I need to rent it. How much is it to rent? Still too expensive to rent.
Bucks. Yeah.
It's like $29. I ain't not renting that, brother. Hell no, wait. Wait for that.
Yeah. But it's that thing of like, it's not a bad film. Like, it's not. It's really not. And too many studios and companies keep seeing things as, if it doesn't make money in box office, it's dead. Like, it's dead in the water. It's not going anywhere from this. When it's very apparent and obvious that, like, streaming is not only the way of the future, it's the way things will continue, and it's the way things will be. So like, you really need to start counting those numbers too, or you need to start simultaneous releases of things. It's
one of those ones where
always going to be people that want to see it in the theaters, but there's also going to be people that just want to see it at home. Like, I'm going to be real, all the Marvel films that are coming out next year, I'm not going to go watch them at the theaters. If anything, I'll watch them at home maybe, or I'll like, whatever, watch them at someone else's place or whatever the fuck. But like, I'm done. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. It's the biggest thing with like Avatar. Like, they're saying that it needs to be an experience you watch on a screen, and I do say that, yes, as well. I recommend it visually, but also probably about 80% of the people that I've spoken to have said they're waiting for it to come to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
they're just like, I'm not too fussed on it. The first one was great. I wasn't that invested. It's been 13 years. I can wait to watch it at home. Like, they don't. It's not a massive thing, and I say it's like, oh, visually go watch it at a cinema. It's going to be great, but they go. Like, yeah, I understand you saying that, but also I'll just wait until it comes to Disney Plus. But it's such a different mindset, because film is now becoming such a more, everyone likes to go to the cinema as well. And a lot of people are getting excited to be able to go back to the cinema and have that experience. But like you said, you need to utilize that. I think Avatar Way of the Water has only made $555 million. That's still really impressive for, I think it's just been out a week now. I don't think it's going to continue going that high. I think it's dropping a little bit. It's probably going to hit the 1 billion mark. It's sitting in the top 200 now. That's great to see in its first week. But like, this is probably a movie to watch to see if this trend keeps going after Top Gun Maverick, and this is hitting a high grossing film, mainly around this type of time of year as well. It'll be quite interesting, because I think a lot of people, like, even that I know, was like, COVID's not a huge thing, but being Christmas time, being busy, they don't want to risk going out and getting sick before Christmas. If the film isn't that engaging to them, they're more happy to just stay at home and have that home experience instead of going out and doing that. There will be certain films that you want to do that and have that fun, that funness with your mates. Like you were saying, cannot wait until all the boys rock up in Barbie. But also, some people might just wait until Barbie comes out on DVD. They might be like, cool, I don't really care. And that's fine. So
exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but everyone's experience is going to be different. Like, I remember the like, being fucking younger, we didn't go to the theaters much. We always waited till movies were out on DVD or whatever, and then we'd go to, the store and rent them. Now it's streaming. But it's that thing of, unless it's something that I'm like, damn, I need to see this in the movies, I don't really care. Like, I'll just wait for it to be on streaming, or I'll wait for it to be available to like rent on YouTube or whatever, or I mean torrent. But like, it's that thing of, you don't make it like, it's not a blockbuster in the sense of, oh my god, it's just only a cinema experience. Like, it's just kind of another movie, when there's like certain films, they have that, oh my god, I have to see this in the movies. But like, for example, right, The Irishman, right? I love Scorsese films. I really do. The movie fucking sucked.
Like, I don't think I've seen it, actually.
Long.
I don't think I've seen it.
3 fucking hours long. And no shit, I would not have seen it in the movies. If I went to watch it in the movies, I would have left. I love Scorsese films, and don't get me wrong, it's not a bad film. There's just a lot of things about it that weren't good. And I'd still suggest people give it a look-see when you want, watch it in parts. That's probably the easiest way, whatever it is. But it's the same thing with like the Schneider cut. The whole life is hyped up, and like Schneider fanboys will suck his dick to the end of time.
Just like James Cameron fanboys, man. There's so many of them. I'm a bit of a Christopher Nolan fanboy. That's what I'll admit.
Yeah, it is the same with Christopher Nolan. Like, not everyone's going to be like, nah, he wasn't wrong. It's blah, 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 this, that. But like, let's be real. Unless it's like actually worth it, you're not going to go to the movies to go watch it if it's not something you want to see, Like, yeah, a movie nowadays has to feel like it's worth me spending, especially in Australia where we pay such a ridiculous fucking cost to go to the movies.
It can be so expensive to go to the movies.
It's like an $80 minimum kind of thing, You would go with the homies, we buy some popcorn, all of a sudden you've just spent like $70-$80 on yourself.
Crazy. It's actually crazy.
Fucked. But so it's like I have to have something that I actually want to go and see and sit down and spend the money for and have that experience. And like the Schneider cut was made for an IMAX screen. And obviously we don't have access to IMAX fucking everywhere. We have one in Victoria.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap to go see. So most people aren't going to see it. So when you see it in home release, but like it's a 4-hour movie. I'm not going to spend the money to go fucking see that, Like I'm going to go fucking or like around the corner, like a reading movies or whatever where it's cheap. Like I spend the money maybe and go do that, but it's got to be something I actually want to see and like experience in that way and have the speakers going and have the feeling and the crowd around me, and not just be the kind of film that I'm like, I'm happy to just watch this in front of my computer or go into the living room and chuck it on the TV or whatever it is. Because there's so many more of that type of film than the experience of actually going to the movies.
One thing that I want to kind of throw in as well before we wrap up is talking about like the home experience. You're talking about IMAX. Yeah. With Disney Plus, have you used the IMAX enhanced feature?
I have once.
Because that's kind of cool. I don't know the difference. I'm sure there's a difference to it, but having the aspect ratio, but seeing that you can have like an IMAX enhanced experience at home on like your 65-inch TV, whatever size it is kind of cool.
The main reason why it's great is for that HDR and also for sound. But if you don't have the sound system that can support it, it's just kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but it's not really worth it. Like there are a few films that are shot on IMAX that obviously need to be cropped in some capacity to be on like a normal home screen.
Yeah.
Because like IMAX aspect ratio is entirely different.
Yeah, way different. Because that's what they're saying with it being enhanced. I think they're only doing slight, so it doesn't do too much on video and stuff, but it's just meaning, as they say in the dumb form, that it will reduce the size of the black bars and make your screen appear significantly larger because it has a taller aspect ratio.
Yeah,
that's what they kind of brand it as. That's cool. I watched. You talked about it last week. Your one of your favorite films of last year that you went and saw. Good old Shang-Li. Shang-Li? If I got that right. Shang-Chi. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Shang-Chi. The 5 rings. 7 rings of fire. Yeah, I watched that, and that has it.
Shang-Chi and the 10 rings, but yeah.
The 18 rings of fire, yeah. They have
Shang-Li and the 27 rings of shit.
They have an IMAX enhanced version, and that was great. I watched it at home. It was really, really cool. So it's kind of cool that we have these experiences as well at home. That means that it is a great thing that you can still go to IMAX, still have that day out, spend your $60-$70, but also there's accessibility now to just have that a similar experience at home. I wouldn't say the exact same experience, but
no, like short of being full-blown audiophile where you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on a sound system, you're never really going to get that full experience
because
you need, like, when you go to a movie, if it's like at the cinemas, I should very clearly state, most good theaters, like if you go to like a Dolby Atmos or the IMAX or whatever, they're specifically calibrated their sound for the best viewing thing. And like most people, when if they have like a TV, they're using the TV speakers, they're using a sound bar, or in the rare occasion where you have a sound system, you haven't tuned it. Like, I know people that think they have, and it's like, no, you turn the bass up and the treble in like a certain point, but you're not tuning it. Like, you're not getting all the sound out of it. And with IMAX Enhanced, you, to get the most out of it, you need that. You need like a HDR, whatever it is, TV 10 plus or 100, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Like, you need, there's almost like a list of prerequisites to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, you can still get the most out of it just out of like anything really, but it's still like it brings it up that little bit more, and like, I like it as a feature. It's really good. It's really, really cool. I'm glad that they brought it because it's something that's honestly been missing. There's certain films that have been shot in a very specific aspect ratio, and when you view it outside of that, some information can be cut off, or everything's like that little bit squished and it like doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Or there's like 100 different ways that they try to deal with it, and it's just cool to like have the original ratios and everything shown to you so you can experience it how it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, because in the end, you're watching the creation of an artist in any capacity, however you want to use that phrase, but you're seeing their work, and the best way to view their work is the way they want you to see their work.
Yeah.
And yeah, then you can make your decision on it.
I know how you...
yeah. But yeah. Well, it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, so I think if there's anything else you wanna...
No, I think we've covered a lot this episode. A lot. Yeah. For a couple of half-assed gamers, we're excited. There's a lot going on. And I think it's like a good foundation to kind of like get an idea of like the things we're excited for, the things we might be talking about coming into next year as well. That's also great. But yeah, like there's a lot of cool things, some great films coming out, some great games coming out. Really cool to see, like you were saying, like just to follow up on what you were just saying, see what all these creators, these different studios, these different minds are sort of coming up with. And yeah, I'm excited. Man. It's going to be 2023. It's going to be cool, man.
Yeah, buddy. Well, if you happen to have found this podcast or you enjoying this podcast, feel free to chuck me a follow or a message on Instagram. It's the Titan Z. If you have anything you want us to chat about, or any games you want us or movies to bring up, or give a little review on, just feel free to shoot me a message. I don't know if you want your social shouted out.
I'll update my socials because it is just my full name at the moment, so I'll update it at some point. But we're chilling. We're just like I'm saying, like we're just a couple of half-assed gamers doing some half-assed podcasting and hopefully making some mates and having a chat. I just enjoy just having a chat with you about what's coming out. And once we get like a bit, like it's great because the start's been just what we've played, our game of the year, what we're excited for, and then I feel like it's going to get into a bit more of a like structure when it gets a little bit quieter, into like actually certain games, certain films that we can have a bit of a chat about and break down as well. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Yeah. There will also be some little like maybe one-offs or little spin-off things here and there about some stuff that we talk about up in the future. But for the moment, hope you guys have enjoyed. Yeah, again, feel free to check me a follow or shoot us a message if there's anything, and help us be a little less half-assed.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that.
I mean, at least me, so I can like bring up some other points or other things people want us to talk about.
Yeah, I had a couple of decent talking points that I wrote up today, but that's the fun of it. It's like just a bit of a casual chat, but bro, there's so much coming out. Holy,
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we won't be half-ass gaming next year, mate. We'll be full-time gaming by the sounds of it with how much is coming out. So.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck me, we got to start streaming.
I know. There's going to be that much to play and talk about. It's going to be ridiculous. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, catch you all next time.
Yeah,
catch you guys. Christmas and New Year's. Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. Okay, we'll catch you suckers in the new year.
Yeah, I think there might be one more episode this year.
Yes.
Which will probably be New Year's Day. It'll probably come out. We'll film or we'll record on the 29th, and it'll probably get edited and come out on the 31st. So yeah, bring yourself into the New Year's. We'll have a little celebration on the podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Get the fuck out of here, nerds.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you fucking doing? We're gonna do that. I feel like